They'll run it now out of the gun. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. Wilson now to throw on second down. Over the middle, complete. That's Baldwin. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good first down call as the screen play gets him 9.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A give to McCoy, and he'll be taken down at the 34. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. They go play action here on 1st down. And this is caught at the 8. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Wilson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now, before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. The Packers on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Wilson from the gun, he'll throw. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's got some space here. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll start the drive with a carry by McCoy. Room to run inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And they'll keep on the ground with McCoy. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. From the gun, Wilson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Baldwin. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here's McCoy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 2nd down, Wilson buying time to his left. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Wilson operating from the gun. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14.
19.
Operating from the gun, Wilson. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Detroit was up for the challenge through the air. They force a 4th down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And they jump back in front here. It's 9-7. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Snap coming at 1, and it's Mahomes. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Flushed out right. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. The Lions on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And again it's Mahomes. He completes it to Bryant. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He's up to 70 yards receiving now as that last catch gets him a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. They go play fake. Mahomes. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Lions on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Robert Quinn in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. And missed it. It's wide to the left. No good. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, second half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
So good field position for the Packers as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. He's going deep for Brown. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised. But that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Now Wilson on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to hit Jameis Olawale that time. And it's third down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
From the gun on third down, Wilson forward with it over the middle. And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a first down. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Throwing the end route, incomplete. It's Baldwin. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent game, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going deep for Brown. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Wilson will throw again. He's going deep for Brown. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. They give him a gain of 38. Back now at Lambeau. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. Elsewhere, a 3rd quarter score. And looks like the Bengals starting to pull away in that one. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. Now they'll try and run this sweep to McCoy. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He's going deep for Brown. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Shotgun. Zebra. 12.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27. Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
We got three, fellas. Right, move 15. Check 50, check 50.
They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Move 14.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. And he'll go down at the 28. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Let's go get it right here. Come on. Cut. Move 15. Here we go. Gun.
Now Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Room here to run. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. After the interception, here's Wilson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for 2. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This one taken from the 7. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass.
Mahomes hit, he lost the football. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, Let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Now McCoy. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
This is where coaches have to have spent a lot of time going over situations with their players, because him getting tackled there is not the worst thing in the world. You're going to run more plays, right? Clock's going to go. But his thought process is getting into the end zone. It's counterintuitive for him to actually go down in this spot.
Yeah, but like you say, you don't want to get in the end zone too early here.
No, not at all, because...
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Doug Baldwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the 2nd extra point he's missed so far. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left, roll him out, bootleg him. Do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working well. It's caught inside the 25. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. A big play there for Detroit. And even 60 yards. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 12 more yards there and another first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, here's Mahomes. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Kevin White, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Lions able to get this back within a touchdown. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all of their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and then, by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 times. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13.
Ready? Cut! 380! Tempo, tempo. 14.
From the gun, Wilson. Over the middle here to Brown. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4.
Cut! 380! Watch the screen! Gun!
To throw is Wilson, operating from the gun. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Detroit getting set to go now. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. He's back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 9, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Back to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he has the 1st down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. They'll look to throw. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Gotta love the catch. I think you gotta love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great. And they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing. But I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Kevin Wright with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here. And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If
they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Now the toss is to McCoy running right. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
14.
Wilson to throw. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Here's Wilson. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game.
Go get it right here. Come on.
Throwing now is Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You having to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. So how about that for a momentum switch?
We're in the 4th quarter, and it's a tie game. You've got to take care of the football here. Now their opportunity to take the lead right out the window, and everything is flipped in the other direction.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Mahomes going deep here for Bryant. This is caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Martavis Bryant finding the end zone on the game's final play. And the Lions have broken our tie as they take the lead. The extra point is good, and on the final play of the game, they walk away with a victory. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Detroit, they do finish things out with a victory here in the final week, but the victories were few and far between as they'll end the year 5-11. And by just about all accounts, not the type of year they were hoping to have. Meanwhile, for the Packers, They go out with a bit of a whimper as they wrap up a very trying 3-13 season. And this front office will have plenty of work to do in the draft and through free agency to turn this ship around. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.